Yesterday, acting upon a tip, I decoded Flight 9525. Now, that led to someone giving me a tip about Bowe Flight 911, which I also decoded and made another video yesterday. And that video led to this tip by Sonia Beatty Sharp, who asked me to decode Flight 811. And wouldn't you know it, it uses the same numbers, the same patterns, same rituals as the previous tip. By this point, that should not be a surprise any longer. 911 and 811, incidentally, are essentially the same thing. 911 codes the same as the divine feminine in the Jewish cipher, and 911 and Tisha B'Av, you might notice that that's the day that we're looking out for, is on 8/11. It's on 8/11 this year, August 11. Oh, I missed an A. Tisha B'Av, and it sums to 9/11 in the Jewish cipher. So an event that's on 8/11 sums to 9/11. There is a rule in Gematria called the rule of Kollel. The rule of Kollel states that if a number is off by 1, that it doesn't change the meaning. So if you change the 8 to a 9, you're still saying the same thing. Or the 9 to an 8. It's still talking about the divine feminine. Incidentally, in the case of 9/11, on our old calendar system, the Julian calendar system, September, Sept, which means 7, was the 7th month. Now, on the Gregorian calendar, it is the 9th month. So it's very reasonable to say that 9/11 and 7/11 are both 8/11. All about the divine feminine. That's why you have a store that's Jew-owned, 7-Eleven, and Jew-owned equals 117, you see. So very, very important to understand the connection of all these numbers. The divine feminine is the concept of care, conscience, concern, compassion, and when the fallen ones work to take this from society through their rituals, they are attempting to create a society that lacks those values, a society that can be controlled. Because if you no longer care about your fellow man, you no longer have conscience and compassion, you are now controllable. So on to United Airlines Flight 811. Now, this flight did not crash like the previous two flights. This flight had a decompression mid-air. The date of the compression was 2/24/1989, which is the 55th day of the year. A whole lot like the word decompression equals 155 in the English ordinal cipher. Sorry. If you're new to this calculator can be found at gematrinator.com, which will open these first 4 ciphers for you, and then I usually open up a couple others. Today I'm doing Jewish and septenary. Septenary I find very important because it is the Bible cipher, and the Jewish cipher sometimes tells us good things about, like we were just showing a minute ago, about the Tisha B'Av, which is a Jewish thing coming up. So it's actually based in Latin, but this cipher is. Now, United Airlines, let's type that in. hate those notices. United Airlines, you'll notice, sums to 58 in the septenary cipher. Now, you will see also that when I opened up the Wikipedia article about this, it tells us that, and why would they put this weird place in here, where the decompression happened? And they would put it at 158 degrees west. It's not an accident. I mean, sort of a weird, how do they know exactly where it happened? I don't know. But maybe it's coordinated on the maps, but I think they put it in there for this reason, because this is a ritual event. And look how the Freemason numbers appear. 58, 59. We'll see that David Cronin was age 59 when this happened. United Airlines sums to 58 in the septenary cipher, and they said that the decompression happened at 158 degrees west. If you put in David Cronin's name, it also sums to 59. Remember the rule of Colel, 58 and 59 would be the same thing. So David Cronin was age 59, and his name sums to 59. United Airlines equals 58, and the decompression happened at 158 degrees west. And decompression equals 58 in the septenary cipher. Awful lot of overlap there, wouldn't you say? Now, the flight number 811 is a whole lot like the age that David Cronin died, age 81. There were 2 stopovers for this flight. 3, rather. Los Angeles and Honolulu. Los Angeles, when you take the, here, I'll show you here. Los Angeles in the septenary cipher, and you multiply these numbers together, it equals 270. Remember, zeros are not important. This is added together right here is what it's showing you, but if you take them and multiply them, which the calendar don't do that for you, you have to do that on your own calculator. Okay, it equals 270. Now Honolulu, get this, the second stopover actually equals 118, like flight 811, just the reverse. But it also equals 27 in septenary, like the word ritual equals both 27 and 81. And remember again that David Cronin died at age 81. I suspect that whoever didn't latch the door right, which they blamed on a ground crew failure, it's probable that they thought he was going to die in this accident instead, but since he survived, then they were sure to make sure that when he did die, that it happened in relation to when this accident occurred, which, by the way, was 259 months after the plane decompression. Here was the decompression incident, and here was the day of his death. Now, why would they put that in a Wikipedia article? Well, this is why. It's important. Okay? This 222 is super important too. Like George Washington was born on February 22nd. We say this all the time because it's always showing up. And like October 4 is 44 date numerology, like kill equals 44 and 17. It's a perfect day for somebody to be killed ritualistically. Just to show you if you're new here, what I'm talking about. Kill equals 44 and 17. And the 2 top date numerologies, 44 and 17, you see. So not a coincidence. So he died at 259 months. David Cronin equals 59 in the full reduction cipher. And the events The decompression event happened at age 59. So quite a lot put into this, isn't there? Now let's see here. The registration number for this aircraft was N, and by the way, I just got that out of this Wikipedia article, so you can look at that yourself. N4713U. When you take these numbers right here, remember this is added, but if you take 1 times 4 times 7 times 1 times 3 times 6, it equals 504. Now, if you were watching the last two airplane videos, you might remember just how important that is. Well, what is 54 and plus 54? 108, right? There's your 1 and your 8. You might remember that Heathrow Airport from the flight 911 equaled 1008, that it crashed on Mount Fuji, which multiplied across was 5040, and here we are with the 5040 again. Not a coincidence, or this time 504. Definitely not a coincidence. After the wreck and repairs were made, they changed it a little bit. It became 147246, which multiplied across is 1344, like the day of the decompression is 134. You see? So they coded it after the repairs by the date of the accident. Obviously, that's not coincidence. Now, here's probably the most interesting part. When you take the David Cronin, okay, which is 36 in septenary, and you multiply it by the co-pilot, which is Gregory Slater, 56. 56 multiplied by 36, see, right here, 56 multiplied by 36 is 2016. Okay, and that's just, get rid of the 0, and that's 216. I mean, yeah, 216, which is just double of our 108, okay? And that's exactly what we've been saying was the progression for the last two videos, 27, 54, 108, 216. So that's what the 811 is all about. This is our radius of the moon, you know, it is 1,080. Our diameter of the Earth and Moon together, added together, is 10,080. The registration number, or is that the flight number? I forgot already. For the flight 9525, yeah, 4U 9525, the flight number is 10,800. You see? And Heathrow Airport from flight 911 was 1,008. Which crashed on Mount Fuji, which is just half of that, 504, you know, 5040. And so the trend just continues. So it's the same thing. No doubt this was a Masonic ritual event. No question about that. He also died 1,127 weeks from his accident. David Cronin did, the pilot. And what's interesting about 127, remember you can always drop a 1 in Gematria. Okay, that means the same thing. Well, that's the same thing as World Trade Centers 1, 2, and 7. You know. And Pearl Harbor being on 12-7. So very, very important numbers right there. So very, very coded. This is our third flight in a row Gotten all these from tips. So if you can think of another flight that you'd like me to look at, sounds suspicious to you, I'd be happy to take a look at it. But definitely there's a lot of people that die in sacrificing the divine feminine rituals, a Masonic ritual. And in this one there wasn't as many people died, but I think their plan was to bring the airplane down, but fortunately the pilot was smart enough to get it down safely. And maybe there wasn't as much damage as they thought would happen. That's my suspicion. So eventually they just killed the pilot off by the same numbering system later. You know, I shouldn't laugh. I mean, it's crazy the way this world works, but we prove it every day, over and over and over again. So, but this time I think there was only what was it, like 9 people died? Yeah. And look at that, crew 18, flight 1 or 811. You know, the captain died at age 81. It's just the same numbers reversed. You know, no coincidence. Even the registration numbers, I forgot to mention, you know, N47, that's our government number. You know, I learned decoding from Zachary Hubbard, watching his videos, who has a campaign about what is 47, you know, government. Our government's number is 47. And a whole lot of others that are related to 47. I mean, related to government are 47, rather. You know, Republican, Democrat, Foundation, etc., etc. So, again, another flight, another ritual murder, more death by the numbers. Enough people wake up, maybe we can make it stop. And that's our whole goal of doing these videos every day. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.